Welcome back to Cars Analyzed. I'm Chad, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the 2022 Toyota Highlander. We're going to take a look at the Toyota Highlander's pricing, various trim levels. We're going to take a look at the engines and their power output. We're going to look at the performance as well as various key dimensions, both externally and internally. And we're going to do all of this in relation to 4 of the Toyota Highlander's competitors. Now I know there's plenty more than 4 competitors when it comes to the midsize SUV market. I took a random 4. The 4 competitors include the Kia Telluride, the Ford Explorer, the Honda Pilot, and the Mazda CX-9. When it comes to pricing, Toyota Highlander's MSRP range between $35,405 to $52,175. The Kia Telluride does come in a little bit cheaper. When it comes to the Ford Explorer has a whopping 8 different trim levels, and as you'll see, 3 different engine choices and a ton of options. If you fully maxed your Ford Explorer out, it would come to well above $60,000. Jumping to engine specs, the 2022 Toyota Highlander comes with 2 different options. One is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid, and that is offered in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and has a combined power output of 243 horsepower. Does offer a higher output V6 with 8-speed automatic transmission with the option of all-wheel drive, and that V6 puts out 295 horsepower and 263 foot-pounds of torque. Now, how does that compare to our 4 competitors? The Mazda CX-9 does have a smaller engine with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged. It only comes with all-wheel drive, and its engine horsepower output is between 227 to 250. And the reason why there's a range here is that Mazda quotes power output based on the octane level you use. Jumping back to the Ford Explorer, has 3 different engines, a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder turbo at 300 horsepower and 310 foot-pounds of torque. So very competitive, especially from a smaller engine. A hybrid 3.3 liter V6 with a combined power output of 318. Yep, that is definitely higher than what Toyota puts out. And then the whopping 3 liter V6 twin turbo with 400 horsepower and 415 foot-pounds of torque. So when it comes to the engine specs and power output, the Ford Explorer definitely has the rest of them beat. Moving on to performance. For the Toyota Highlander, the 3.5 liter V6 with all-wheel drive does 0 to 60 in 6.7 seconds. On the skid pad, which is a performance metric for cornering capability, it does a very commendable 0.85 Gs, and then for a stopping distance from 70 miles per hour, it does so in 167 feet. The 3.5 liter V6 all-wheel drive has a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. Let's see how that compares to 4 competitors below. Jumping to the Ford Explorer, this is the 3.0 liter V6 twin turbo with the 400 horsepower, does 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. Really, really impressive. The Ford Explorer has a higher towing capability of 5,600 pounds. In the Mazda CX-9, we're actually working with a smaller engine. We go from the V6 to a 4-cylinder turbo. Less horsepower output, but a little bit more torque than the Telluride, the Pilot, and the Highlander. The 0 to 60 is 7 seconds, so a little bit slower than our Toyota Highlander. With this smaller engine, you have a little less towing capacity at 3,500 pounds. Now that performance does come at a cost, and that cost is in the form of our EPA mileage estimates. We're going to take a look at the Toyota Highlander first, and with the hybrid, In front-wheel drive trim, the Toyota Highlander has an EPA mileage rating of 36 city, 35 highway, and 36 combined, with all-wheel drive, 35 city, 35 highway, and 35 combined. With the optional V6 and front-wheel drive, it has an EPA mileage rating of 21 city, 29 highway, and 24 combined. And with all-wheel drive, you lose a little bit, dropping down to 20 city, 27 highway, and 23 combined. To the Ford Explorer with these three different engines. With the 4-cylinder turbo and rear-wheel drive, we have 20, 28, and 24. And with four-wheel drive, 20, 27, and 23. The hybrid comes in at 27, 29. That's city and highway for rear-wheel drive, and 24, 25 for four-wheel drive. If you're comparing that to the Toyota Highlander, it's not all that impressive. And of course, not surprisingly, with the output of the 3-liter V6 twin turbo, the EPA mileage rating comes in at 18 city, 24 highway, and 20 combined for the four-wheel drive. Let's take a look at the interior room. When one is buying a midsize SUV, most likely they're looking for room. And that's either room for their family and friends, or that's room for their gear. Taking a look at the headroom, legroom, and then the shoulder room and hip room. And what we're doing here is we're gonna give the numbers first in the first row, then the second row, and that third row is, just a reminder, all of these offer third row seating capability. So that's what's identified here. And I'm not gonna go through each one of these numbers and put you to sleep. Let's take a look at the cargo volume for each one of these cars, starting with the Toyota Highlander. Let's take a look at that in comparison to our four competitors here. Kia Telluride, 87 cubic feet, 46 and 21. So it definitely has more space behind that third row. The Ford Explorer, 87.8, 47.9, and 18.2. So more cubic space behind the first and the second, not as much as the Telluride behind the third, but more than the Toyota Highlander. The Honda Pilot is roughly 84, 47, and 16.5. So similar to the Toyota Highlander. And then the Mazda CX-9 comes in at 71, 38, and 14.4 cubic feet. Starting with Midnight Black Metallic. Celestial Silver Metallic. Magnetic Gray Metallic. Blueprint, Ruby Flare Pearl, Moondust, Cement, looks pretty neat with these bronze wheels, Windchill Pearl, and lastly, Opulent Amber. Taking a look at the various trims, you have at the low end, L, and then it goes to LE, XLE, XSE, Bronze Edition with those fancy bronze rims, Limited, and Platinum. And with all of these, they come with various levels of options and packages. I think the number one pro is its reliability. It has continuously been on the top of reliability ratings when it comes to the engine, the performance, the dimensions, it fits nicely within its category, which is surprising because it's been out for so long, given competitors an opportunity to leapfrog, which they haven't. So I think it is still a very competitive option. It is priced very well. So with that said, that is our quick data and stat comparison to 4 competitors when it comes to the 2022 Toyota Highlander. If you like this video, please, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Thank you very much for joining, and until next time.